what's up everybody, this is White aka Antivator here bringing you yet another toy review. Today we're taking a look at the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Soundwave. Soundwave has been a figure I've eagerly been awaiting for a pretty long time, and I'm extremely glad to have it in my possession. Now the figure does do some things that are kind of bothersome to some people, and I can really see why this one is the cheapest of the three unreleased, or at least stateside released. Or even to be released at all in America, of the three deluxes that were canceled, of this guy, Leadfoot, and Wheeljack. I picked him up for about 36 bucks on eBay, and while the other two go for much more, almost double this price, I can see why, but I'm still happy with it, though I do see why some people don't want to pay that premium. One is maybe because, well, these are just some faults I see with it. Some people may have some completely other ones. But the vehicle mode is, yeah, it rolls well, but the way these forearms transform are really precise. And I feel this could scratch the Decepticon symbol pretty easily. And this whole thing up here is translucent plastic, so some of the friction pieces or something you might want to do in robot mode may not work out all that well because this is all translucent plastic and may one day stress it so bad that it could break. So that is a problem. And then the lack of paint. And then robot mode kind of offers some things that are a bit different, but you know, it adds more to the table and takes them away. He does have these two MechTech ports up top, which are the spring-loaded ones. He comes with the MechTech weapon, which is his gun, but if you can push it all the way down, but then that spring-loaded thing gets caught on his thigh piece, so it won't come back up. So I'm not going to demonstrate that full thing. But here he is with his MechTech weapon, big cannon. I like the way the cannon looks. It looks cool. And they pull these back. It's a satellite, so it's kind of cool that they reverse this. Because if he had a satellite the entire time, I'd get kind of bored of it. So it's kind of cool. He has permanent cannon. It's like if they reversed it. So, it's kind of cool. And then, he also has two MechTech ports to where if you wanted to, I guess, I don't know if this is really a design factor, but you can take Deluxe Laserbeak, and if we go to there you go. You have to position them like this pretty much. Pretty much get Laserbeak in there. Kind of have him posted up on Soundwave. So I can get his MechTech ports in there. This one doesn't want to stay. I'm not going to mess with it too much if this doesn't. There we go. Kind of janky, but I guess you can, or whatever. But this is Soundwave's Mercedes mode. It does have some cool paint apps back here. The Mercedes AMG SLS. It doesn't have any sort of paint though down here or a license plate, but it does have some cool Mercedes decals, as well as some really cool lines that match out for this, and even, you know, Gullwing panel lines. But the panel lines don't do anything. He has these that really do stuff, but I think they could have incorporated these a bit better. That's just my honest opinion. Soundwave in vehicle mode. Transform him. We're going to start by starting with the legs. And this transformation, please excuse me, but it does get jumbly. So excuse me if it kind of derails and loses you, but I'll try to keep it as consistent as possible. We're going to take these pieces, untab them from here. Or, no, actually, yeah. It has very specific steps, but you're going to stick your nail in there and lift this whole piece up and hinge it forward. And then you can move these freely. And you're going to want to flip these up, actually. Hinge them down, but flip them around. And then you have to pull this thing forward, which is kind of cool. And then fold that whole piece around. Then take the, I guess you can fold this all up, and there's a tab right there and a hole there. Make them find each other, and flip the foot down. thing over here. There's that. Then up here at the arms, this is where it gets kind of weird. You can take the hood, which you can just grab. Somehow, you got it. There you go. Just grab the hood whichever way you can. And it's personal preference. I'm going to keep it under here to keep this from between the legs, so it keeps his legs free. So you, what you do then is, the problem is the shoulders. I just do this. I rotate them around, flip this panel around, and then everything hits itself. The main problem with this figure is the shoulders hindering. It borderline frustrating. I really do not like how that is actually. It's not even a little thing. I really do not like it, how that's done. I feel it could have been done so much better with the panel lines given. Pretty much have to get this flipped around all the way to the back with this panel as such. Gonna rotate that around and then rotate and get the light in there. Rotate that around like that. Do the same thing over here. Rotate this forward. Rotate that around, back. And then blam there. And then there you go. There's his arms, pretty much. Come up here to the head. Come in here. Fold this piece out. Fold this down while you're folding the arms up. Rotate the head up. Rotate the original grill in. And then bring these together. And then that grill will tab into the front of Soundwave's chest. Pretty much turning him into a faux chest, which is fine. And then you can pretty much situate his tires in the back however which way you want. And that's Soundwave. But then you have, if you do it like this, you end up pretty much with his tail between his legs, and that is awful. This is my least favorite part of the robot mode. Transformation is something completely different. That's pretty much execution. This is aesthetic, and I hate this. So you kind of, what I meant plastic is you really want to do is stick these headlights in there to keep them, keep it in place. But the way they're angled, you feel like you're going to snap that plastic, so you might not want to do that. And yeah, so this is the way that he looks the best while keeping an aesthetic, but he takes away a neat feature. And that he looks really awful there. But he's not bad. He's just not the best. I still do like him. I'm still really glad I have him, but that's Soundwave in his robot mode. There's just certain things you have to finesse and finagle to get your way, and it's kind of a pain sometimes. Zoom in on Soundwave's head sculpt. It's really nice, though they kind of mispainted it to where he was knocked out of the frame. Oh man, this is messy. I'm sorry, but no. There you go. Where the translucent red is like half on the visor or 3/4 on the visor, not all the way. So that looks kind of weird, but I can touch that up by myself, so that's not a big deal. And he really does have a nice sculpted detail. He's kind of SD, but that's whatever to me, kind of. I don't really mind it. I still think he has a neat aesthetic with the big forearms, small chest, bigger head, and the lunky legs. So it does fill out well in my eyes. His head is a nice silver paint while the rest is still this weird matte gray. But one thing that he loses, which is kind of cool, and we're going to compare him now to music label Soundwave. So this is pretty much a G1-esque Soundwave. And you can see how he differs from his original design. Or not his original design, but Soundwave's original design. One cool thing that you were able to do with these mech check ports on the shoulders, were put his cannon on there. For this to work, you know, these would not even have to be all the way back. These would have to be, you know, put up like this to keep the backpack all together. So you lose that with this. So you can't really have his shoulder cannon mounted. Though he can still hold it, but he loses, you know, an optional choice of aesthetic. So that's kind of a bummer, but, you know, if you really don't mind the backpack, well, then you can still have that. But those are the two sized up. The music label is in between a Voyager and a Deluxe as well, so if you're wondering how big, and he is kind of a short Deluxe, though I don't know where I can get a really good example, though here he is with, just a figure I have handy, with Prime First Edition Bumblebee. So he's not short, and Bumblebee is kind of a tall figure, but he's a good size for a Deluxe. Soundwave is kind of scrawny, though he's not all that short. But I like him. That's the thing with this figure. He really doesn't do any more than what you see in this review, but I still do like it, and I'm happy with the purchase. It's just I cannot fully recommend him for the price he's going for, due to many people would not care for the little things he does and the big things that get in the way. So I cannot full-heartedly recommend this, but I am happy to say that I enjoy it myself. His articulation is pretty good as well. He has a swivel neck. His shoulders rotate but get hindered, but you can still, you know, move them a bit. This is on a ball joint as well. Really nice jointed arms with a rotating bicep, double jointed elbow. Well, kind of a joint here, and then he has a rotatable ball joint in there, and then hinged wrists, no waist, but hips are on a universal ball joint, rotating thighs, double hinged knee deal, and then pivoting feet, you know, to a degree. So Soundwave is not for everyone. I hate to admit it, but he's not. Maybe, you know, not even much for aesthetic, but execution. Human Alliance might be your better bet. I just don't really care for the Human Alliance myself, but that's just my opinion. I think pictures are fine, and reviews are as well. But I'm happy to have this guy on my shelf, and I'm not that upset with the price tag. If you have any questions about this guy, leave them down below in the comment section. Please like or dislike, and please check out Primecast every weekend on SSJ Autobot's YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.